important that first and foremost we understand it and the impact, but secondly that we have a policy which is relevant to our needs and requirements as a college, and that we have something in place which serves to protect you as individuals, very, very importantly, but also the college as an organisation that strives to be a very good employer, but also as an educator, and we want to make sure that our students are also safe online. So this session will cover the use of social media from various different angles. I hope there is something in it for all of you. There will be opportunity for question and answers at the end, and there may be some things that Alan will pick up with you as you go through. But enjoy the session that we've got together, and we'll welcome any feedback from you later. Alan.
What I'm hoping is that everybody can hear me. I'm pretty loud. Am I okay at the back? Yeah. Excellent. I can't stand behind a mic. I'm not an educator. I twitch, I fiddle, I walk up and down. So that's great that you can hear me. My role, as you heard, I'm a police officer, so the next time that somebody says to you, policemen are getting younger, you can put a sword straight to that myth. I'm seconded because of 6 years on an internet child abuse team, dealing with the front-end child sexual abuse image offences, offences against children, adult issues as well. But I've been, if you like, lecturing or talking to the education establishment since about 2004. Enough of that, let's talk about you, because this session is actually called PPI. It's about protecting your professional integrity and identity. Before I do that, however, I need to sort of go through a few of the issues around the way children are using the technology and how that can affect you. Back in 2000 and, no, was it that early? 1987, I had a Commodore 64. Does anybody remember that? 64K of raw power. It wouldn't power your alarm clock now. But that's how I started to learn the technology. I talk to kids now, and I say to a group of 11-year-olds, what was life like before the internet? Huh? No concept. Always had the computers, have grown up with them. We, however, and I have to generalise here because we'll have mixed ability, we are what a guy called Prensky in 2001 called digital immigrants. We learned how to download stuff. We're web generation 1. That's what we do, generally. We know about Mrs. eBay, Mrs. Tesco, how to book a holiday, how to consume stuff. That's how we learned the internet. The children and young people that you're dealing with learn a completely different way and actually invest an awful lot of their time in it. So they socialise, they strategise, they communicate, they share, they game, they empathise. They do a lot more, they upload, they video record. They do a lot more generally than we do. So are they more advanced? I'd say they are, certainly. Not necessarily more clever users than we are, but certainly different. And we need to understand that, especially in the professional sphere. Let's just have a look at some of the stats that are out there. No sound. There it is. Excellent. Actually parents? Oh, quite a lot. Okay. This is what Prensky was talking about when he talked about us digital immigrants. I'll show you a film now about teachers. It is only a brief one, but it's what teachers sometimes have to face with the lack of knowledge that we sometimes have in relation to this area.
Well, it's great to have all your questions. So today we are looking at internet safety.
James, it's about the computer.
Just a word. It's about these 500 music downloads on your laptop.
James, what exactly are you getting up to on Facebook?
Oh, it's simple, Dad. It's file sharing.
Your brother says you're making friends with people you hardly know, and then you're poking them.
How do you get rid of pop-ups? Simple. Press Alt plus F4 and they're gone.
Your brother says you're posting stuff the whole time.
How much is this postage costing?
Viruses. What is the most common way of getting a virus on your computer?
We can live with you having it.
Attachments. Attachments, of course, often carry viruses.
But we knock on your door and we don't get so much as a...
Twitter and other social networking sites.
I think I might have a virus.
You make us feel like we're up against a...
Firewall. What exactly does it block and how?
Could I have picked up a virus from podcasts? Or blogging?
Our daughter's blogging!
Well, it's good we understand each other.
Oh goodness. Time already? Yeah, move along then. Go on.
And a lot of other companies put out a lot of resources around trying to educate adults in the ways of their children. How many of you have had a conversation with your child or children about the internet? Okay, probably about half of those who put their hands up. Okay. I'm going to skip that one, if you don't mind. The internet is ubiquitous. You can access it in so many different ways and so many different places now that the days have gone by in child protection where we're saying keep the bedroom, keep the family computer in a family room and don't let them have access. Mobile phones have changed. The technology has changed that. So I'm really going to race through this next bit. I apologise for doing this, but this is a 2-hour presentation. And what I'm going to get to quicker is the PPI bit. Well, this is what the government talk about, contact, conduct and content. This is stuff that we need to protect children against. I'm not going to go on to that one because I need to talk about the effect on professionals on your social lives and your private and personal lives. Does the internet affect? How might it affect you? Okay, let's talk about some of these. Is there online information about you that you don't know? I could put some money on that there will be with some of you, and I'll touch on how you can find that bit later on. Do any of you have a work provided laptop? No? Okay. Do any of you manage data related to children or other people within the organisation? Just the one? Okay. I'm going to skip that because again that's teacher, professional abuse study. We carried out a professional abuse study amongst professionals in the Southwest, teachers mainly, but a lot of them around bullying issues. And bullying is still a huge issue within the internet sphere and certainly within schools. 62% of our schools say it's their main problem, both with children and staff. And funny enough, the newest avenue that we're facing problems with is parents. Parents bullying teachers online or criticising the school on online forums because they think that's okay. And I'll touch on that a bit later. But you can see 72%, 35% of the teachers said they'd been cyberbullied of the nearly 2,000 teachers we talked to. 72% of those bullying incidents were from students. So there were spoof accounts. And again, I'll talk about Facebook and spoof accounts a little bit later. 26% by parents, and that's probably a growing figure, and then 12% by other staff. The bullying issue is massive because actually cyberbullying is still bullying. The cyber element is just a tool which is very, very neutral. Some of the tools are brilliant, absolutely superb tools, but we use them to target people. It does make it 24/7. It does make it reachable across any distance that you like. It does make it more available to more people to view. So the tool, if you like, enhances the bullying, puts it under microscope, makes it 24/7, and puts it out there to everybody. So it still is a massive issue. You will see there, this is a spoof site. Hands up those of you who've got a Facebook account. Ooh, most of you. Hands up if you haven't. How do you know? 2 seconds with a mobile phone. Looks here, this. Quick picture. Takes about 10 minutes to upload and make a new Facebookers account as you. Not hard to do. This was a teacher in the Somerset region who knew nothing about this site. We get 2 types of sites, and I mentioned the word teacher. It's about staff as well. You're in the college arena. You're going to meet students. Some of them you will find you get on with, some of them you maybe don't. There are 2 types of sites. There are normally hate sites and there are legend sites. The legend sites invite all the other teachers and professionals to join in to say how good that person is. I must say, they tend to be gym teachers. You don't get many legend teachers who are maths teachers, sadly. The other ones are hate sites. Now this teacher had no idea this had been created. I will say that the next slide does contain very bad language, so if anybody is easily offended by bad language, please feel free to leave the room. But it's what these children actually posted about this teacher. Thankfully, you've got most of the swearing blanked out by the lamps. This actually is about scalability, durability, and audience. 3 words coined by a researcher called Donna Boyd in the US. And she said, if we don't understand that about the internet, how can we expect children to understand it? But we don't. Scalability. You publish something online on a website, whether it be Facebook or anywhere else, you publish it, it is available to the whole world if you put no protection behind it. Could you have published to the whole world 10 years ago? So the scalability is massive. The durability is the one we keep driving home to the kids, which you need to understand as well. You post an image of you, a lovely post image to your 3 best friends. Are you still in control of it? No. The minute you post it, you lose control of it. That's where the durability is. Now, if that's you climbing a mountain, brilliant, fantastic. Why not have it durability on the net forever? But if it's you in a topless pose that you send to your boyfriend, and then you fall out with him and he decides to put it on the web, is that something you want? Durability of that on the web forever. Is that something good? An audience, who can see what is out there about you and what effect can they have on you, including your employers, your friends, people maybe you don't like. This is all about that scalability, durability and audience. And this is about these 3 kids who never understood it. The top guy didn't have his photo on. We're still keeping an eye on him. He's 16 now, he's on Facebook. But the other 3 all had the picture of their face on there and their name incorporated in their account name. Now, when we looked at that, that was published to the whole world. It was on an old Bebo account. We've kept it as a good demonstrator. When we actually approached them and said, would you put your picture up on a piece of A4 and written what you've written about the teacher and posted it on a tree within 10 miles of this school? No. Somebody would have caught me. But they had no concept that was viewable by the whole world. What they were saying about that teacher and what they were saying about people was viewable by the whole world. So scalability, durability and audience is massive. We have, as the UK Safer Internet Centre, trained Ofsted inspectors on e-safety. And teachers are fearing Facebook because of some of the incidents that are happening. Again, I'll have to read the top bit. Forgive my language. It says, oh my God, I hate my job. My boss is a tough pervy wanker, always making me do shit stuff just to piss me off wanker. Sorry about that on the tape as well. You can't see it. This is a 17-year-old who's on work experience. And she's published that. You can see her boss's response. Once she'd finished with that posting, she was no longer in a job. And she was on work experience, hoping to work in that job. So, scalability wasn't a closed account. Durability, is she ever going to get that back? No, I've got it. Audience, a boss, she'd forgotten he was on the account. So all 3, in a moment of madness, are taken care of by that posting. This is within your policy, within your media policy, actually, in the college. The college is recognising that social media has an important part to play. And actually, colleges and schools are in a rock and a hard place, because teachers are saying, and staff are saying, we want a social life online, it's our private life, what's it got to do with you? Well, sadly, your private life can reflect upon your college life if you don't control it and you're not watching what you're doing and what you're saying, it can come back and bite you. Would you write a letter to the Times saying, oh, Kent College I work there, it's crap, full of crap teachers, full of crap students, I hate it. Would you write a letter to the Times doing that? No, you wouldn't, would you? So why do you think it's okay on a Facebook account? And I'll come back to friends a bit later on. But it's there, and it's about acceptable behaviours. And I will cover it, and I'm not lecturing you, this is for your own good as well, and you'll see why as we go on. Do you know what? Why shouldn't you pole dance? I think it's sad. I am really, really grateful that when I was in my late teens and early 20s, these damn things weren't around. I might have had a career change, I don't know, but I'm really, really glad. They have changed the way technology happens now, or the way certainly children use technology. When you came in, I did a Bluetooth sweep on you, and sadly, for me, only Cat H has got a phone on. Are you all aware of Bluetooth and the power of Bluetooth? For those of you who aren't, it's a file sharing system, and it demonstrates really the power of technology. So I can store. Well, let's compare this to the Commodore 64, shall we? I can store 2,500 songs on this. It's got a high definition video camera and camera. I can do my emails. I can surf the web 24 hours a day. I can buy apps that will give me things like my Shell location, where a Shell station is for my lease car. I can find out where planes are going up above me. Why I've got that app, I don't know, because they're all flying off to somewhere hot. It just tease me off when I use it anyway. These are tremendously powerful machines. Bluetooth is a file sharing system, so if I want to share my photos or my stored music with you on your phone, I can do it. It's protected by a 4-pin number. It only works in a limited range. I need your 4-pin number, you need mine. Generally, when we open Bluetooth, we look at it, the factory settings will be 0000 or 1234. And do you know what we do? Oh, thank God I'll remember that. I've got so many passwords to remember. That makes it easy for me to crack. I can bluejack your phone. Cat H, have I done anything to your phone? No, because I'm a police officer, I'm not allowed to. I got told off the first time I did it. But I can get into your phone and change your data a bit. Or I can blue snarf if I've got the right technology, which means take control of your phone. But the stuff that we store in our phones, 3 states of Bluetooth: off, if your phone's off, Bluetooth's off; on and hidden, which is what you should be on; or broadcasting, which Cat H is doing. With kids, put a hood over my face, put me on the high street somewhere, and just give me my Bluetooth, and I will tell you when there is a child in my vicinity. How will I do that? Quite simple, because what we do is Neil's phone, second phone, Samsung, Nokia, John's phone. We're boring. What I'll then get is somebody going past and it'll say, Red Hot Rachel, kiss, kiss, squiggle, squiggle. Now, I'm pretty certain that's not a 43-year-old harass mother 3 hours shopping. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe in Kent it's a bit different, I don't know. But the fact is, or I'll get Call of Duty Demon, because these kids decorate their online lives. But if you're in an environment like a college and you're supposed to keep it off, I would. If you've got it on, your Bluetooth needs to be hidden, because kids can get up to mischief on it. Pole dancing? Why shouldn't you be? How that got on was obviously because somebody posted it on Facebook. You having a Christmas do this year? Is there always somebody who gets a little bit too tiddly? I'm waiting. Normally everybody looks at one person, but you haven't, you let me down. What about a conversation before you go out? Look, if I get a bit drunk, don't take pictures, please. Don't put me on Facebook. We don't do that, do we? But it's quite easy. 1 second, and you've got the Daily Mail. We've all got to hell in a handcart following you down the road. It is sad. Why shouldn't you have a bit of fun? You just need to be careful about the media side of it. Again, I'm going to skip this. I do apologise. It does seem a bit naughty, but it is all about the teaching elements of things. Because I need to talk about this, and this can take up an awful lot of time anyway. Hands up if you have got a Facebook account. Again. Okay, so that's the majority. I don't mean to marginalise the rest of you that haven't when I talk about this, and if you have any questions or you want to interrupt, then please do. Facebook has now over 1 billion users worldwide, something like 28.5 to 29 million in the UK, 3.5 million under 13-year-olds. The whole construct of Facebook is to connect the world. That's what they said they want to do, and they will. That's their aim. Privacy and Facebook, do they go together? I mean, it's not. If you want to connect the world, the whole ethos of Facebook is to get you to share stuff. What you like, what you do, who your friends are, your hobbies, all your stuff. Very much like Twitter. How many of you got Twitter accounts? Okay. I won't touch too much on Twitter because it's sort of social networking light in this sphere. But I will talk about some of the aspects of Facebook. It's now 2005. I've joined Facebook. I'm over 18. I've not touched my privacy settings. On the outside is the entire internet. The outside of the rosette is all my stuff that I put on Facebook. The inner circle is the entire internet. Then you've got all Facebook users, networks, friends, and then you. The blue bits is what people could see of my account if I've not set my privacy settings and I'm over 18. So as you can see from the outside rosette, the entire internet can see nothing. Nada. Nil. You search me on Google, you wouldn't find that on Facebook. All Facebook users can see my networks, my name, my picture, and my gender. That's it. Nothing more. Okay, networks can see a few more things, my friends can see a lot, then I can see it all. Let's fast forward to 2010, and this is prior to the timeline. 2010, I'm over 18, I open a Facebook account. I don't set the privacy settings. A little bit different now. The entire internet can now see my networks, photos, likes, name, picture, gender, other profile data, and friends. So I can be searched on on Google for my Facebook account. Facebook could not have grown to 1 billion users, could not have grown to that size with those settings that you saw in 2005. I need a shout out now. How many settings are there on Facebook that affect your privacy? Have a guess. 7? Lots? 27? 3? Okay. Good efforts. 146. Now, most of those are taken care of when you tick that friends only box. Most of them, but not all. Because you've got group issues, you've got tagging issues, you've got timeline issues, you've got an awful lot that aren't taken care of by ticking that friends only box. Don't think when you do that you're covered. Let me explain something the kids do, and then I'll talk about the adult version of this. When I started on the Internet Child Use team, in the Southwest, Bebo was massive. Do any of you remember the Bebo revolution? Any of you still got an open Bebo account? Just the one. If you've had a Bebo account, close it because it's still open. There are still millions of Bebo accounts open from kids who are now 16, were like 10, 11 back then. So it's quite nice for me when I go in and do the sort of year 11 boys and girls who think they're the coolest things since sliced bread, and adults can tell I'm nothing. I say, on your Bebo account when you were 12, you were doing so and so. It's really easy. Friends. 13 teenagers will have lots and lots of friends. Have you noticed? Any of you got teenagers? Very few of them will have just 50 friends, 100 friends. How many do you think the average adult user has friends on Facebook? 150? 242. Very few teenagers I deal with will have so few friends. We're getting 700, 800, 900. My record is 2,150 with a 14-year-old girl. They are changing the concept of friends. There's no point you saying to any of them anymore, only have people you know on your social networking account. That ship has sailed a long time ago. It's about managing the way they talk to the people they have on the Facebook account and educating them in that is now important. Whereas adults were just the same. So 13-year-old girl, we've done this a couple of times, 13-year-old girl, 750 friends. We said to her, do you know them all? Oh yeah, absolutely adamant, know every one of them. Okay, let's do a little experiment. Will you let us do it? Yeah, no problem. Pick a friend. Who's that? That one's a friend of a friend. I said, okay, let's go to that friend. So we went to the friend. I said, who's that? Friend of a friend. Third one along. Who's that? That's my cousin's friend. Let's go to your cousin. Who's that? That's a friend of a friend. Go to the fourth friend. Who's that? Don't know. And what they do have is lots of friends of friends. In the early days of social networking, I had 13 different accounts. None of them me. Bebo was the Wild West that could get on any account. Nobody ever set privacy settings back then. Now they set the privacy settings and they think that's it, as we do. All I need to do is be one friend of a friend and you will be amazed on how many accounts I can get on. It's just the art of being a friend of a friend. Just that picking that up. As adults, we have acquaintances. What are the privacy settings of our acquaintances? You post something and you think it's friends only. Have you got acquaintances amongst those friends? Who do they have on their account? What are their privacy settings? Because it's what you're posting visible to other people through their account. I pick up an awful lot of stuff if I look at an open profile. This college, I looked at some profiles, some of them you saw at the beginning, lots of them open. So I look at timelines, I'll look at dialogues, I'll look at ticker tapes, I'll pick up lots and lots of stuff. That's my job, that's what I do. But if I was somebody who didn't like you, am I on anybody's account? Did anybody add anyone last night? No? Okay. This is a site called WeKnowWhatYou'reDoing.com. This focuses on people who are talking about stuff in work and being nasty about people in work. Who's been on the booze the night before? Who's taking drugs? And who's got a new phone number? So basically, the algorithms go out onto Facebook and go and look for keywords on open sites about drugs or anything else, and then post them. You can see they put the phone numbers. They've not actually published the whole phone number, but you can go onto any of those accounts and see what people are saying. So there's sites out there that are actually looking for stuff, actively looking for stuff. Quite interesting.
Hi guys.
Facebook in the real world, tongue in
Can I be
cheek.
your friend? Can I write on your wall?
No.
Will you be my friend? But I write on all my friends' walls.
I think I'd have to know you before I was your friend.
All my friends have got like 180 friends. I've only got 2. Yeah. Would it help if maybe like you looked at my photos? And that one's with 2 like really pretty girls. Like, you know, that's my ex. You know, I was in a relationship with her, but you know, I've changed my status now. Yeah. What's your relationship status?
Single.
Oh, good, cool. I like that.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
I like your jacket.
Thank you.
I like your sunglasses. Do you like that? Do you want to comment on that? I like your Ray-Bans. Can I poke you? Poke? Poke? Huh? What, poke? What, you want to poke?
Can I poke you?
Yeah, you can poke me if you want.
Yeah.
I mean, how am I? No, do, seriously, just be my friend. If I just show you these pictures in this photo album. What's your name on Twitter?
Mark the Vivo.
Oh, so you use Twitter?
Yeah.
I'm going to follow you.
Okay.
Cool. Well, I'm going to follow you.
Right, okay.
Wicked, cool.
Right.
Right, thanks a lot, nice one. Thanks,
Okay.
guys. Yeah. Wicked. Bye, cheers. Wicked. Alright, thank you. That's great. Wicked. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Oh, you're actually following me.
I'm following you.
Should we?
Okay.
Okay.
Should we go or? Status update. Can't wait for my fabulous evening at the E&O. Lol. Ruffle. Do you like?
What?
Yeah?
Alright.
What's your comment?
Pardon?
Do you want to be my friend?
No, it's alright.
Your mum does it hope he's got more than 2 friends. What does ruffle mean? Roman for laughing. LMAO? WTF? No, don't do that one. It's funny, the language, there are translator sites online now, so if you get a group of text, or a text paragraph if you like, from one of your kids and you're concerned about what they're saying, just put it into a translated site online and you'll get the English version if you like. Can anybody predictive text? I'm not worthy. Never caught on to it, can't do it. It's quite interesting the way that the language changes. When we were younger, we changed the language. And it tends to be the younger people that tend to push that drive. I've got a 16-and-a-half-year-old boy who's doing his own A-levels. We're walking down the road the other day, he says to me, "Do you see that, Dad, lol?" Now I thought, have I got a freaky son? Is it just my son who's spending too much time online? And then I discovered actually all his mates are saying it. They actually say lol. So, often is the dad saying, "Get your grammar right, son, talk properly," and the other half saying, "That's interesting, that's really good." But it does change. Facebook, settings. Back to the settings bit. As part of the UK Safer Internet Centre, we're one of 30 European centres, and we unashamedly stole these Facebook tips from the Austrian centre. We then anglicised it, and we ran it through the European Director of Facebook, who sits on our Safer Internet Advisory Panel. I have to say, last week there were changes to Facebook. How unusual. But the advice in here is still good. And it talks about things like How do I deactivate my profile? Contacts and help. How do you use your friends lists? That's massively important, and I'll touch that in a minute. Who can find the content you post? What is there about you on the web? How does your profile appear? And what friends do you really have? So please help yourself to one of them. Smart lists. This is for you as professionals. We talk to children about this as well, but I think it's more important for you as adults. I'm a 30-year-old teacher. I play rugby. We have a drinking sort of culture. We just want a cup. I get very drunk. Somebody pulls my trousers down. Still got my shorts on, but I'm sprawled on the table. Beer bottles all around me. What happens these days? Click. So, that night, somebody goes home, puts it on Facebook. The next morning, I wake up hungover, I see it. I think, oh, that's funny, I'll put it on my profile. Very funny. So I go to school. Would I then go to the head teacher and go, hey boss, got slaughtered last night, I'm still a bit, they pulled me trousers down, what a laugh. Would we do that? Would we then go to our 10-year-old and say, hey son, I'm so pissed last night, you wouldn't believe it, I've done it on the tape again, sorry. Put my trousers down, what a laugh. Would we do that? And yeah, we do it. We do it on our Facebook account. We'll say that, forgetting we put our head teacher on there when we first opened our account 3 years ago, forgetting that we set up an account for our 10-year-old to introduce into the social networking world. We say stuff without divorcing it from real life. Culturally, socially, you meet somebody in the corridor in the college, you automatically assess what age they are, what your status is professionally with them, what your relationship is with them socially, everything, don't you? You do it in a nanosecond before you even open your mouth. And yet online, we have a real difficulty with it. There's this dichotomy between real life and Facebook. So on the left-hand side of your accounts is something called lists. Open lists. Create rugby friends. Create school friends. Create people I don't like but I'm keeping an eye on. And we've all got them. So you create these lists of people that, different people. So when you want to talk about the rugby game last night, you open up your rugby pals list and you talk about it. Before you hit send, make sure that you uncheck the one that says all friends, which is by default checked, because Facebook want you to share. So you uncheck that, you post to your rugby friends. Then your head teacher doesn't see it. The world outside of this college doesn't know that this person works at Kent College and has got pissed the night before and debagged. Because if the world does get to know that, the college gets to know that. The college gets to know that, that's why they've got the social media policy. It reflects upon your work. So what you don't really want to do is have that reflection going out there. And remember what I said, it's not just your friends, it's who views your friends' accounts. So the easiest way to do this is to manage your online relationships the same way that you manage your relationships in the school atmosphere, in the college atmosphere. Does that make sense? Really important you do that, because as well as protecting you, it protects the college. So if you do want to go pole dancing and talk about the girls see you pole dancing, open a pole dancing group of friends. Way to do it. How many of you have joined the college within the last 2 years? Okay, so there's a fair few. The next question should be, how many of you are intending to leave the college? But I won't ask that, especially not with the deputy here. This really is about digital footprints, if you like. When I said at the beginning, kids use it differently to us. They upload, they share, they collaborate. They are leaving digital footprints big time. But some of us are also leaving them. Now there is not, and this is 2 years old, this study, which is a Microsoft study, so you can guarantee the figures have gone up massively. But even back then, there are no HR people in any big or small organisations worth the salt that wouldn't look at your online presence. Of course they're going to look at your online presence. This one was quite interesting because in the US, 70% of recruiters had actually rejected people based on what they found out about that person in the online environment, but only 7% of them that were interviewed realised that was why, or realised that might have been one of the factors. And in the UK, 41% and 9%. I will guarantee now that's gone up. So, will it affect your career? Of course it will. Your online digital footprint will. Hands up if you've never used Google as a search engine. See, that beast doesn't exist. What a powerful company that is. They know everything about us, what we like, what we search for. So, what they're looking for exactly. Or where are they looking, first of all? So Google, of course they're going to look in Google. You use it, you search it, you put stuff on the web, it picks it up. Social networking sites, 63% of them. Of course, again, they are. With 1 billion users on Facebook, why wouldn't they be looking at that? Then they're looking at professional business working sites. Okay, who's on LinkedIn? Okay, so they're going to have a look at you. And that's always quite a contrast between what you're saying about yourself on Facebook and what's on LinkedIn. I'm a sober, kind person of society. And there you are, pole dancing beers on your arm. So it is always interesting, contrasting, compare. Blogs, Twitter, you look at your Twitter accounts, online gaming sites. Any gamers here on World of Warcraft or anything like that? No? Okay. Classified and auction sites, they're even looking whether you've got 100% rating on eBay. There's a lot of stuff they're looking at. So what are they looking about? Again, you want to leave here and you want to join the Salvation Army. Absolutely. So you're there in your sober suit in front of the Salvation Army saying, I would like to be one of your captains. I love the stuff you do. And the Salvation Army say, that's good, we'll welcome you. And then they go and have a look at your Facebook account. And there you are, pole dancing, bottle of whiskey, fighting, Saturday night out. Do they want you? Okay. Obviously the Salvation Army is here instead. So, that's what they're looking for. They're looking at your lifestyle, what you're saying about yourself. Inappropriate text and stuff that you write. So your essence, really. And quite interesting, they're looking at text written by friends and relatives as well. The one that we get the most of, comments criticising previous employers, co-workers or clients. So if you're leaving a company and you're on your Facebook account or elsewhere, Twitter, saying, that woman there, the admin woman, was a bitch. Do you think the admin woman in the next place, having seen that, is going to welcome you with open arms? That's the one that bites a lot of adults, if you've got opinions. First of all, I should have said this when I started on Facebook. If you want anything kept private, why in God's earth would you put it on Facebook? I'm amazed at how many professionals do. Inappropriate membership in certain groups and networks. Lying. Poor communication skills displayed on lie even, 41% in the UK. Maybe a paedophile, but can he spell it? So, you know, you can see financial background. They're looking at you online. So what is online about you? This is quite an interesting one from Microsoft again. 56% of adults surveyed in this survey don't actively think about the consequence of their online activities. Never give it a second thought. And this is, again, this dichotomy between online life and offline life. We somehow don't think that that affects that. And it does, and it can, and it will, if you don't treat it with respect. 21% were fired from a job because of online stuff. 16% lost out on getting the job. 16% lost their health insurance. So they're saying, you know, they're claiming for a bad back and they're out playing bloody polo every weekend or something. 14% lost out on the college they wanted and 15% were turned down for a mortgage. So financially, even the financial institutions are going to look at stuff you're saying. So it is quite a powerful tool, this online stuff, isn't it? Can you do anything about it? Loads. This is a UK secret, or what I didn't say at the beginning as well. If you want access to this, you can have access to the actual presentation. So if there's anything in here you're not sure about, you can have access to it. I will provide it to the college. On one caveat, that you do a quick online assessment. It's only 5 questions. Tell me if I'm rubbish. That's all you have to do. So, within there, within the UK Safer Internet Centre is the actual Safer Internet Centre website, is a managing your professional identity. And what it deals with are things like this. So, search for yourself using Google or another search provider. This is my favourite tool. I love this. I could talk for an hour on this. Okay, I need to find somebody. You all use Google. You put in the search term breadcrumbs. Google then goes and looks at the outer web for everything to do with breadcrumbs. It notes how many times breadcrumbs are mentioned in the site, whether it's exclusively on the site. It notes whether you've got any previous links to any other sites relating to breadcrumbs. It looks at your browsing history, and it brings back your results. How many of you look past page 2 in Google very often? Just 2 of you, 3 of you. Most of us don't, because Google is very good at bringing what we want. And we're getting better at searching for what we want. So we're fairly specific. Google brings back our results, so away we go. If I'm looking up something like a school, I don't even start until page 24, because all I'm going to get is outside agencies selling the school services and how good the school is. 24 downwards, I'm going to start getting LinkedIn accounts for the staff, so I can start having a look at them. And then if there's any bad stuff, it tends to be down there. I did this college, thankfully I didn't find much, which is a good thing. Because if I'd said something now, I'd be in trouble with that. The fact remains is it's a search tool. So put your name into inverted commas and see what comes back. This, however, when I mention Google and its search term, is one of many online aggregator sites. So what it does is it goes out the way Google does, but it searches for stuff about you. So you put your first name in and your last name in. It then crawls the web for open source stuff about you. It will not find your Facebook account if your privacy settings are set to private. Hands up those of you who haven't got a Facebook account again. Okay, it will find out if you have, i.e. somebody has made a spoof account. Because if somebody's made a spoof account, they're not going to set privacy settings, are they? So let me tell you what it does when it goes out there. It uses IP address, which is your unique address for your computer. And then it uses magic dust. For some of the things I don't understand. But what it brings back, left-hand side, any social networking, open social networking sites about you. Right-hand side, top corner, any video broadcasting that you've done, i.e. YouTube accounts, Vimeo, any of the video broadcasting. On the left-hand side, it will bring back any web links, any email addresses that incorporate your whole name in them, your Amazon wish list, a cloud tag of your most frequently searched words, and we all use Google, don't we? So I think it talks to Google. It will bring back any blogs or online diaries, anything you've published online, any biographies about you, any domain names for sale about you. So if you're called Lucy Tyler, it will tell you whether lucytyler.co.uk is available. If I'm a member of 192.com, which I am, and you're not X-Directory, it will bring me back your name, address, telephone number, and postcode. I put your postcode into Google Street View, or Google Maps and Google Street View, I can have your front door on my desktop. It takes me about 5 minutes. Great tool. So basically all it's doing is search it, and it's not just what you put online, it's what people put online about you. I attended a local safeguarding meeting in North Somerset 3 years ago. I got some actions out of it, forgot all about it, and then realised when I searched myself that somebody had put the minutes of the meeting up online. I will always find that. Every time I search myself, I will find those. I'm not bothered about it. Like I said, the durability could be good durability as well as bad. But the fact is, it's durable. It's on there forever. So this will give you an idea of what your digital footprint contains. It isn't an exact science. So if you are called Peter Smith, you will get 5 or 6 possibles, and the cloud tag will be inaccurate. Generally, though, it's spookily accurate at finding you. And normally, when I've used this kind of tool, I've already got a piece of the jigsaw anyway. And if I get possibles, I'll go, there it is. An amazing tool. If your name's Johnny Crackpot, and you've got an unusual name, it will find you pretty damn quick. So it's an interesting tool. The reason I give this out is professionally, or if you're working in an environment where there are children and young people, then there is a chance that you might be targeted. Hopefully you won't. Or you'll have arguments with colleagues or whatever. This is a way to check what's out there about you. Some of the stuff you won't be able to remove. If it's a spoof account on Facebook, you will, because it breaches the terms and conditions, but you all read those when you joined Facebook, didn't you? Nobody, they're as rare as the person who's never used Google, the person who's read the Facebook terms and conditions. At one stage, they were longer than the American Constitution, so you know why people don't read them. But the fact remains, it's worth checking every 3 to 6 months, just to see. I had a teacher that said, well, if there's stuff on there that I can't remove or I don't know, it's horrible, I don't want to know about it. That's a personal choice. Personally, I'd want to know about it, because I'd want to know how far down it was in the Google rankings so I could put some good stuff up to their ear. about digital footprints, your online presence, what it says about you. So well worth checking. That one's called 123people.co.uk. But there are many, if you just put in aggregator sites, it will find you. Well worth doing. We've got about 5 minutes in there. That's translated to put your text in if there's something that confuses you or if you don't know. This one is really important. If you've got passwords and you access the college system, make sure that password is robust. From a policing perspective, it's important for us. If something happens on your servers and we go in and we say, right, what password was used to access this site? And the college techie says, it was admin 1. We're knackered because we've then got to interview everybody who's got access to admin 1. So we can't keep things discreet. And you may be interviewed and go through the trauma of that because somebody hasn't used the password properly. So I don't know, hopefully the college has got a robust password system and you've got your own. If you have got your own, keep it strong. Hands up those of you that use your children's name as your password. Change it. And don't put a 1 at the end of it because you think that's secure. You really do need to change it. It's for your own protection as well. Thanks for your honesty, by the way, but it is for your own protection. And there will be 2 or 3 of you sat there going, well, I never put my hand up, but I have. Change it. It really is important. What are the top, well, I can name a few of the top 10. What do you think is the number 1 most used password in the UK?
Chocolate.
Chocolate, that would be a good one, but no. Anyone idea?
Password.
Password, exactly. And when the techie says put 55 for the S's, again, that's not good. We've also got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me in. What else? Oh, pussy, I don't know where that came from. And football. Not great, that is it. Not real good security, that. Okay. Privacy Fix is another good one that will look at you online. So you go into Privacy Fix, it will again search you and tell you where there are holes or where you're appearing online. Good little site to go in. As I said, all this information is available on there. You can have the presentation if you need it. Within there is Facebook, and I'll show you just the first one, because as you can see, it's been prepared to show you some of the privacy settings and what to do. There are 6 of these, and we'd be here for the rest of the day if I went through them all, but it's on the setting. So I'll skip through those, and I'll just do a little bit of advertising, I think. That's a tool for schools on e-safety. Again, that's more a teacher thing and what it does. That's about policies. That's about digital media literacy, which is hugely important. We've designed it for different year age groups. Again, I'm going to skip that. That's an online. I'll skip that. I'll come down to that. That's the UK Safer Internet Centre. I've mentioned it already, in partnership with ChildNet and the Internet Watch Foundation, who are a takedown service that arrange and organise a takedown of child sexual abuse image sites, or child pornography sites as they're commonly misnamed. We're in partnership with those. ChildNet produces a lot of resources for the school environment. But one of the things we did, we were asked to form a helpline. Now, it was supposed to be a children's helpline, but we've already got Childline in the UK. So it wasn't necessary for us to do that. So what we did is form a national helpline for professionals working with or working in the teaching environment. So if there are issues that you've got around technology that you don't understand, and it works both ways, because maybe the college you feel are being unfair about something or don't understand something. We're here to support you as a person working with children and technology. We're not going to turn you away if you're an adult working with adults. But what we can do is we can help you resolve issues. So if you've got a spoof site and you think Facebook can't take it down, the European director for Facebook is on our Safer Internet Advisory Panel. And he's given us a link directly to Facebook that can say, actually, this breaks your terms and conditions, take it down, please. And they will. It has to break terms and conditions. Because you don't like it, doesn't mean to say that they will take it down. And that's where we can help. We can give you advice. Facebook, all the other issues. Ask.fm, Kick Messenger, loads of other different sites are out there. I haven't talked much about the technology today, but it constantly changes. So we're constantly dealing with it and dealing with the companies online. So there's a card that you can take with an email address and a phone number, along with the Facebook things down here. So if you want to take one of those, please do so. I needed to leave a couple of minutes. That is what you need to write down if you want the online resource. So the first thing you have to do is e-safety evaluation at the top, and that's the resource area with the username and password. Do any of you have any questions? Have I battered you into submission?
Probably a rumour. I heard somebody said the other day for social networking, the last couple of days, a new law has been brought that nothing could be...
No, they are guidelines.
Ah.
They are actually guidelines, and what they're saying is that if any of you listen to the attorney talking on television, basically offensive comments will not always be acted upon. So it depends on it. All he was saying basically is this is an application of common sense, but they're trying to put it in legal terms. Basically, if somebody calls you a fat bitch, you're not going to have the police knocking on the door, arresting them, and putting them through the court system. If that person continues to do that over an extended length of time, then it will be acted upon. So what they're saying is, just because it's offensive doesn't mean to say we will deal with it. And it's guidelines, not legal law at the moment. And it will be a common sense approach. But we will deal with it robustly. And a couple of the comments were made about the police and law enforcement needs to catch up with the technology. Well, I've been beating that drum for the last 5 years. Okay, anybody anything else? Yeah, no, yeah, so the question was, I've heard say that you can't come off Facebook once you've joined. Yes, you can. It used to be that you could only deactivate the account, which meant that the forward-facing public wouldn't see your account anyway, so that was essentially getting rid of it, but it was stored on the Facebook servers. You can still just deactivate your account, so it's not visible to anybody, and then reactivate it if that's what you want to do at a later date. But you can now ask for it to be deleted, so you have to be very specific. So if you need to know about that, if you go into the help center in Facebook, which is a very useful tool, it will tell you what you can do and how you can get that totally deleted. And by the way, well done the digital native who took a picture of that on his phone. Well done. The only one I was hoping there might be one or two, but nobody else did. Digital native up in the corner. Any other questions? Absolutely. So the comment there is about the more stuff that you put on the electoral rolls, forms, and fill out and stuff gets sold on. Yes, it does. Part of your digital footprint. There are boxes that you can tick that says, "Do not sell my stuff," and the genuine companies will have that little box saying, "Please do not send me stuff and do not sell my stuff." The others probably won't. The more that you fill in online, the more information these companies have about you, the more likely it is to be sold at, misused, or targeted. Absolutely. Sorry, there was a question. Great one, because I was just about to include that before I finish. So there is a school that's basically saying, because of all the problems they're facing with the online environment, they've written to the parents saying, if it happens outside the school, it's too much for us, you deal with it, we need it, nothing to do with the school, if you like. Not true. The Education Act in 2006 outlined that the head teacher has the ability to deal with incidents that occur outside of school in the online environment that affect the behaviour in the school. Now, it's up to the head teacher whether they harness that power. I would suggest that if they don't, they are failing, because is that going to go away? It needs to be dealt with, and there needs to be firm sanctions from the school or the education establishment to deal with the issues, because it does affect the moral behaviour of the students in school. And if it does affect them, why are we saying, oh, well, it's happening outside, it doesn't matter. Your school's just going to get worse behaviour because of what's going on in the online environment. So it is a power that was given in the Education Act. You now have a power to search under the new revisions in 2011 as well. Under search for items banned by the school rules, which are dictated by the head teacher. So if the head teacher bans phones, and little Johnny's got a phone in his pocket, and you say, give me the phone, you know you're not supposed to have it, and he says, no, you have a power to search. Not yet being used, really, and in fact, I get recoils in horror from teachers, especially in the primary environment, thinking of searching little Johnny. But there are lots of, the Education Act is the receptacle, if you like, of the rules and what's allowed in school. And certainly it does allow action on stuff that happens outside the school. Any more questions? Well, great. I think we've finished bang on time. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you.